Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to XPAD Live. In the first two episodes, we walked through the big picture together, from the new warfare philosophy SHIELD AI is pursuing to the moment XPAD was first revealed to the public. Tonight, in episode 3, we focus on a detail that may look secondary at first glance, but is actually the strategic heart of the entire program, the XPAD launch and recovery system. The system that turns each vehicle into a mobile airbase and turns ordinary roads into expeditionary runways. Right after the general design introduction of XPAD ends, the lights in the hall do not go out. They simply shift. At that moment, attention moves away from the aircraft itself toward a large metal structure placed beside it, looking like a combination of a military truck, a missile launcher, and an industrial hydraulic lifting frame. That is the XPAD launch and recovery vehicle. In other words, it is XPAD's airfield. But this airfield is no longer tens of hectares of concrete and hangars. It is condensed into a single vehicle frame. In the traditional air power model, every fighter requires a full base, a long runway, radar, control towers, refueling systems, and a defensive infrastructure that is easily visible from satellites. XPAD moves in the opposite direction. It does not want to stay still. It does not want to become a fixed dot on the enemy's target map. Brandon explains it clearly. In recent wars, more aircraft are lost on the ground than in the air. Not because pilots are weaker, but because too many high-value assets are concentrated in a few fixed locations. The larger, more modern, and more impressive the base, the easier it becomes a target for long-range missiles and loitering drones. To break that disadvantage, the very concept of a fixed airbase must be removed. That is exactly why the XPAD launch and recovery system exists. Imagine a military convoy moving across the terrain. Some vehicles may look ordinary, but in reality, they are the cradles of XPAD combat aircraft. When the deployment order comes, the vehicle stops at a pre-selected location, a forest edge, an empty field, a quiet road segment, or the rear deck of a ship. First, stabilizing outriggers lock the vehicle in place. Then a hydraulic lift begins to operate. XPAD is raised gradually, standing upright on a vertical axis like a rocket. Mechanical locks secure the airframe at key load-bearing points. Every step is calculated to ensure the structure is not distorted under stress.
When a deployment order is issued, the XPAD launch vehicle does not require any fixed infrastructure. It only needs a clear area sufficient to safely manage exhaust flow. The first step is positioning. The vehicle stops at a pre-selected location. Stabilizing supports are deployed, anchoring the platform to the ground and eliminating vibration during the lift and launch sequence. Next, the hydraulic lifting frame is activated. XPAD is gradually raised from its cradle, transitioning from a horizontal position to a fully vertical orientation along the longitudinal axis. Throughout this process, mechanical locking points secure the airframe at its primary load-bearing sections, preventing asymmetric stress and protecting the structural integrity of the fuselage. Once XPAD reaches full vertical alignment, a rapid systems check is initiated. Sensors verify stability, balance, and safety conditions prior to engine start. The jet engine then begins to spool up. Instead of directing thrust rearward like a conventional aircraft, the exhaust is vectored straight downward through a thrust vectoring system. At launch, XPAD departs the vehicle along a vertical trajectory, similar to a missile liftoff. After reaching a safe altitude, the flight control system transitions modes, shifting from vertical ascent to horizontal flight, and XPAD enters its combat mission profile. The entire sequence occurs without a runway, without a control tower, and without traditional airfield lighting or air traffic control systems. At this point, the launch vehicle is no longer a support asset. It functions as a complete airbase, compressed into a single mobile platform. On return, the recovery process follows the same logic in reverse, with an equivalent level of automation. XPAD receives the recovery vehicle's coordinates, analyzes wind conditions, terrain, and altitude, then transitions from horizontal flight to vertical descent, reducing lateral velocity while maintaining precise vertical stability. As it approaches the vehicle, distance sensors operate continuously, adjusting thrust in real time until the aircraft settles accurately onto the landing platform. Once mechanical locks engage, engine power is reduced and shut down. Cooling systems and rapid diagnostics assess structural condition, preparing XPAD for refueling, rearming, and immediate redeployment. This is the core of XPAD's deployment concept, a closed, mobile launch and recovery cycle that operates independently of traditional fixed airbases.
However, if XPAD were only about design and vertical takeoff and landing, it would not yet be what truly alarms military planners. The fundamental difference lies in its level of combat autonomy. In the traditional model, even the most advanced unmanned aircraft require constant human supervision. Decisions to fire, change missions, or withdraw must still come from a command center. That means delay and serious risk when communications are disrupted. XPAD was designed to break that limitation. It is not merely a remotely controlled aircraft. It is a fully autonomous combat platform. Hypermind enables XPAD to detect targets independently, classify threats, assess risk levels, and select courses of action based on pre-approved rules of engagement. Even when GPS is jammed, communications are cut, or command centers go silent, XPAD can continue its mission without becoming passive. When deployed in groups, XPAD does not operate as individual aircraft. They function as a combat ecosystem. Some units fly higher for reconnaissance, others remain electronically silent to strike. Others specialize in electronic warfare, distorting the enemy's radar picture. No officer needs to micromanage every move. No human must make split-second decisions under pressure. Algorithms handle that responsibility with speed and precision beyond biological limits. At the strategic level, the adversary is no longer facing individual aircraft, but an adaptive combat network that adjusts to real battlefield conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, Episode 3 of XPAD Live pauses here. In Episode 4, we move on to questions many are asking. XPAD is developed through 4 clear phases. Phase 1. Prove that unmanned AI systems can operate independently and fully automate missions. Phase 2. Deploy that AI system across multiple platforms. Phase 3. Scale up to hundreds of millions of AI pilots operating across air, sea, land, and space. Phase 4. Revolutionize air combat capability for the United States and its allies, redefining air power itself through breakthrough AI-controlled combat aircraft. In the next episode, we will analyze what missions XPAD can perform, how it operates alongside manned aircraft, and how it fights fully independently. If you find these analyses valuable, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss future episodes of XPAD Live. I'm Hai. Thank you sincerely for watching until the end, and I look forward to seeing you in Episode 4. Thank you and goodbye.